What's going on, everybody? C4 here, and today, welcome to episode 23 of Philadelphia Eagles Fifth Down. It is your daily upload for today. I'm still trying to work my way through some Call of Duty, so Madden is still taking a little bit of a breather. And today, on my upload schedule, I have a little Excel document that has what I need to upload. And on today, November 6th, it says, upload a fifth down called Reflection. Because it's the Philadelphia Eagles bye week. We're sitting at 8-1, coming off a dominant victory over the #1 defense in football, the Denver Broncos, where we put up 51 points. We single-handedly, like Denver was on pace to have almost, if not as good of defense as the year they won the Super Bowl with Peyton Manning. Philadelphia, from that one game, single-handedly has knocked them back like 6-7 spots in like every one of those categories. Like they had this like #1 defense, haven't given up a rushing touchdown. Philly got 200 some damn yards on the ground, 3 rushing touchdowns. Weren't allowing passing touchdowns. Fucking Carson Wentz, 4 passing touchdowns. So from that standpoint, very impressive victory. I'm trying to more so think about what is wrong with the Eagles in the grander scheme of things, because it seems like there's still so many people that are doubting the Philadelphia Eagles. The worst ones are the people that said, you haven't beaten anyone good yet. It's like, what? They haven't beaten anyone good yet? They beat the... Okay, so we beat the Carolina Panthers. They're 6-3. They're probably going to go to the playoffs. We beat the Denver Broncos, #1 defense in football. No matter what way you want to look at it, they have the #1 defense in the AFC, at least. So from a Super Bowl standpoint, defense wins championships. Their offense is terrible. There's no way you can really kind of manipulate Denver's offense into being a playoff caliber offense. But their defense is incredible. They have a defense that probably, if they could find any momentum at quarterback just to find a dude that doesn't turn the ball over, I don't know if that's Paxton Lynch or not, that Denver team probably could still be in the playoff hunt for the AFC wildcard spot. We were able to come in and dominate them. And then we have 2 wins over the Redskins. The Redskins, who beat the Seattle Seahawks last week. You know, if you asked anyone that just overtly wants to say the Eagles aren't good, they're saying, you know, you ask them the question, well, then, well, if it's not the Eagles, what team in the NFC? You get a couple Saints, couple Falcons, but the #1 team people kept bringing up was the Seattle Seahawks. And the Redskins beat the Seattle Seahawks. We beat the Redskins twice. You know, weigh that one, you know, for just in terms of strength of schedule. I'm not a big person into the whole, you know, we beat Washington, Washington beat Seattle, so we're better than Seattle. That's stupid. We play Seattle in Seattle. That's going to be the game to determine if the Philadelphia Eagles are better than Seattle. But to add validation to the opponents and the strength of teams that we beat, for Washington to be able to beat a team like Seattle, the fact that we beat them twice, and really both those games weren't super competitive. I mean, the first game was much more competitive than the second, but I mean, to add to the, you know, if you're ever getting in there, this is kind of Eagle fans everywhere. If you're getting in an argument with someone, they say the Eagles are 8-1. Sure, they have, you know, their schedule, they beat nobody yet. Okay, bud. Yep. So yeah, just the Cleveland Browns, if they had the Philadelphia Eagles schedule, they'd be 8-1 for sure. Yeah, I believe you. You know, it's just like talking to a stump, and I think if anyone at this point in time, after what we did to Denver, doesn't think the Philadelphia Eagles beat anyone good yet, then, you know, those are the kind of people you can't fix stupid. I guess that'd be the way to explain it. So you know, this is, like I said, it's a reflection piece. This is a reflection piece. I feel like I'm back in university, trying to you know, compose a thesis statement, a book report, if you will, on my feelings of the Philadelphia Eagles. And they're 8-1. And you look on social media, you look everywhere, you look in the stands and the link, everyone is over the moon. And maybe you can be able to tell from my videos, I'm not quite there yet. And you might say, why? Why not? Why aren't you on the Wentz wagon? Why aren't you on, well, you know, why are you already saving up for the Super Bowl? It's because I've been here before. Anytime, historically, for me, anytime I've ever got super excited and like way over the wagon, telling everyone that I know and being, you know, replying to everything, well, we're going to the Super Bowl. We're going to the Super Bowl. It's come back to bite me in the ass. So at 8-1, you know, I saw a post on Twitter. The last 4 times the Eagles started 8-1. In 2004, they went to the Super Bowl. I remember that year. In 1980, they went to the Super Bowl. Obviously, I wasn't even close. 1960 and 1949, they both won the NFL championship, which, you know, most fans don't want to care about, so they can say the Eagles don't have rings because, I guess, you know, being good at football didn't exist before 1970. But you know, I was there in 2004. I was a fresh Eagle fan. I was an Eagle fan for a year at that time. And I didn't know what I was getting to. I was like 8-1. Is this normal? I assume this is normal. Philadelphia's a good team. 8-1, and then they went to the Super Bowl with Andy Reid, and then David Akers missed like 9 kicks, and Don McNabb threw up on the football field in a one-legged TO, tried his best, but it wasn't enough as we lost to the New England Patriots in the Super Bowl. But then the years after that, I don't know how many years, maybe 4, 5, 6, like 3 years probably, the next 3 years. Philadelphia started out there like, oh yeah, we're getting back to the Super Bowl. We're at least going to the play. If we didn't make playoffs, it was an utter disappointment. And, you know, we're Super Bowl favorites. We're a team that definitely is in the mix in the NFC. And year after year after year, I don't know if it obviously wasn't 8-1 starts, but it was like 6-3, 7-2, stuff like that. And things would still go wrong. You're just waiting for the clock to strike midnight and this team to shatter. And that's kind of where I'm at right now at 8-1. 8-1, I'm feeling good. It's a different regime. It's new players. We've had a playoff drought, so you know, as times truly changed, we've established that we have an MVP candidate at quarterback, and we have, you know, a 2, 3, 4-headed running attack. What team in the NFC had that formula and it worked to success? They had a good big outside wide receiver. The Atlanta Falcons, right? I'm not going to come out and state, you know, obviously Julio Jones is a level above Alshon Jeffrey, but Carson Wentz is playing as good as Matt Ryan did last year. Our running backs now with Ajayi could very well be as dominant as Devontae Freeman and Tevin Coleman were. Our defense is better than the Atlanta Falcons defense. So we have that going for us. I'd say, you know, you definitely need to give the edge to the Falcons in terms of the receivers as a whole, because you have Julio Jones, who's an absolute game changer. Alshon Jeffrey can play like Julio, but, you know, let's be honest. You're not going to say that. I don't think you can find someone that's not under the influence of alcohol that's going to say that, you know, Julio Jones is not a outright better receiver than Alshon. But we have the mold. We have right now the formula and the mold to be a legitimate Super Bowl contender. But me, as a fan, historically, I can't get there yet. So when you look at the remaining games, so we have the bye, and then after the bye, we play at Dallas. Primetime Sunday night game. I can't wait. I hope to God Ezekiel Elliott is playing. I know there's so many Eagle fans right now, and just fans in general. They want the suspension thing to go through. They just want it to be over. You know what? I don't know if I'm a sadistic guy. I don't know if I'm the kind of person that you know, obviously doesn't want an easy win. I don't want to beat Dallas without Ezekiel Elliott. I don't want them to have any reason to say, oh yeah, well, we lost that game, and I guess ultimately, you know, we couldn't make the playoffs because we didn't have Zeke. I don't want that. I want our number one run defense, our run defense that's holding, you know, pretty much for like the average over the last 8 games, 9 games even, our running backs to 30 yards a game. I want to do that to Zeke. I want to just make Dallas think they have this one thing. Dallas has one formula to win games on offense. Their defense has been playing pretty well. But on their offense, it's the run game. And it's not just because of the run game. It's because it sets up the play-action pass. I think Dak Prescott is average at best if you're not running the play-action pass. But I'll give you this. Play-action, he's undisputed. Number 1 QB play-action pass. It's not even close. So like that, those two things balance out. Dak is a good quarterback. There's no way you can say Dak sucks. Wentz is better than Dak, but Dak is still a good QB. But if you could stop that run game, which, you know, our battles, Eagles versus Cowboys, those games are always going to be barn burners for the foreseeable future as long as we're relatively healthy. And I think, obviously, at this point, even though we're 8-1, the Philadelphia Eagles aren't as healthy as the Dallas Cowboys. We don't know what the stats of Zach Ertz is going to be without Jason Peters. That's a brutal loss. We don't know what's the status of Ronald Darby. We have no Jordan Hicks. No this, no that. Whereas Dallas is relative. I can't even name someone that's hurt on Dallas right now at the top of my head. But those are excuses. Excuses are for Cowboy fans. I want to stop that run game. I want our defensive line to knock back Travis Frederick, to knock back Zach Martin, to knock back Tyron Smith on every single play. Hold Zeke to like under 50 yards, and with that, you shut down the play-action pass. We're not going to bite on the play-action pass, which we had. We bit on the play-action pass so bad against the Washington Redskins. Kirk Cousins was able to take, I think he must have had 3 or 4 times that the Eagles overzealously jumped on the running back, and Kirk Cousins was able to run for 10+ yards multiple times in the second game at least. So that can't happen against Dallas. But you know how you stop that from happening is you stop the run day one, because then you don't even care. Either way, it's going right up the middle, and I don't care if Zach wants to keep it. You put the spy on him with Michael Kendricks, Nigel Bradham, either way. But the point I'm trying to put across is so many people want to see Zeke suspended for this game. And if he is suspended, so be it. He obviously did something pretty stupid off field. I don't know. I'm not one of these people that's tried to study it. I think there's a middle ground. He's either innocent, he's saying he's innocent, and you have the people that want to convict him. I think it's probably, 6 games. How about we call it 3 games? You obviously did something stupid. The league wants to punish you for it. Let's just say 2-3 games. I'll be happy with that, even though it does mean you probably would miss the Eagles game. Whatever, just finish that, because I want to stop Zeke. If this Philadelphia Eagles team at 8-1 wants to prove that we're the #1 team in the NFL, then you want to see this team stop Ezekiel. You want to see them take a team like Dallas, who right now, let's be honest, Dallas unless something freak happens with Philly, Dallas probably is going to be wild card. They're going to be fighting for that wild card spot, but they're going to make that wild card spot. This Dallas team runs from the offense. From the offensive line in the run game. You want to see the Philadelphia Eagles prove that, all right, Dallas can run the ball. We can stop them. They can do nothing against us because we can stop what they're good at. I want to see that. I don't want to see Dallas have to throw the ball because they have Alfred Morris back there. They have Zeke. They have to change up their game plan, and that's kind of how we beat them. We beat them because they can't win on games that they have to rely on Dak Prescott's arm. I want to see the Philadelphia Eagles dominate them. So then that would be 9-1 if that game can happen. And I'm not coming out right now and saying outright Philly's going to beat Dallas. That is going to be a very close game. It's in Dallas. I know that it seems for some reason a lot of Dallas home games have 30%, 33%, a third of the fans are away fans. I don't know how you let that happen at your home stadium, especially when you're a competitive team, but, I digress. So we play Chicago. That's probably a win. But week 13 and 14, how those 2 games play out will be where I feel the Philadelphia Eagles are as a Super Bowl contender. That is when I'm going to hop on the wagon. Not the Wentz wagon, because I firmly believe right now Carson Wentz is the MVP. But for the Philadelphia Eagles as a Super Bowl favorite, we go week 13 at Seattle, week 14 at LA. The Rams, sorry, not the Chargers. So I assume we're going to stay out on the West Coast there. I hope so. If we can win one of those games, those are 2 tough games. The Rams are playing at a very, very high level. They're 6-2. They've been blowing out teams. They're obviously not going to be able to do and put 50 points on us. But really, it's the Seattle game. At Seattle, the Seahawks have been hot and cold. They've been able to win some. They've lost, obviously, when losing to the Redskins. That's a tough loss. But Seattle's been a place that, kind of has had Philly's number, especially when we go to Seattle. So I'm going to say right now, we play Dallas. That game's a toss-up, but let's assume we win that game at Dallas. That's 9-1. We play Chicago. That's 10-1. If we can go 11-1, beat Seattle at Seattle, that's what I'm starting to say. That's what I'm putting a hold on my bank account, because I'm starting to save for a Super Bowl run, because that's the last prove it. I mean, the Dallas game, even if we look good, if we might lose that game against Dallas, if it's a field goal, if it's a 1-score game, that's just all right, Dallas is a good team. They may be able to get one over us. We play them again week 17 at home. Unfortunately, probably by the time week 17 comes around, we're going to have Nick Foles starting at quarterback because we have everything locked up. But the Seattle game is the big one. Seahawks are a team that week 13, that's when they start hitting their stride. That's when they start. They're 5-3 right now, but week 13, week 14, last 4 or 5 weeks is when Seattle, no matter how bad or how streaky they start at the beginning of the year, that's when Seattle starts to lock it up and get ready for the playoffs. And that's where I want to see Philadelphia strive. On the road in Seattle, that's pretty much the only thing we need to see is Carson Wentz and this offense dominate on the road. Our only loss came on the road against a very good team in the Kansas City Chiefs. We have that week 11 at Dallas, but more importantly, I think that week 13 game at Seattle is going to be a big one. Week 14 against the Rams have had struggles selling out. Last time we were on LA, there was definitely way more Eagle fans than Charger fans, so I feel like that Rams game will probably be pretty even for Eagle fans. It's not going to feel like a true road game, aside from the fact that's on the West Coast, but like I said, hopefully we stay out there from week 13 to week 14. I don't know, fellas. It's just one of those things. It's a reflection piece. How do I feel about those Eagles 8-1? That's kind of, hopefully you get an idea of where I'm at. I'd like to hear where you guys are at in the comment section below. For me, the bottom line is, if we can win week 13 at Seattle, that's what I'm on. That's what I'm going to be officially on. The Philadelphia Eagles are Super Bowl favorites. Right now, I still need to see how we play on the road. Let me know what you guys think. As always, hit that subscribe button if you are new. Leave a comment, please. Smash the like button if you enjoyed. Until next time, it's C4 saying peace out and fly, Eagles, fly.